He's a master con artist, and today, Roy is once again showing off his top-tier scam skill. First, he scribbles down what looks like a repeat of yesterday's winning lottery numbers, only he quietly changes one digit. Then, he strolls into the local convenience store and hands the numbers to the owner, who can't help but mock him, saying, "You know the odds of the same numbers hitting in the same month? Same numbers hitting ever?" But Roy doesn't care. He buys the ticket like he's buying a coffee and walks off without missing a beat. Back in the car, he crumples the ticket to make it look old and gets his daughter, Angela, to rub the date with a coin, fading the 22 just enough to make it look like a 21, smooth as butter. Next stop, a laundromat. Angela chats up a friendly middle-aged woman, making fast friends. Just as the woman tosses clothes into the dryer, Angela accidentally drops the lottery ticket. The woman notices and says, "You dropped something." Angela picks it up, shrugs, and goes, "This isn't mine," then hands it to the woman. Curious, the lady opens it up. Bam! Yesterday's numbers. Her eyes light up with that sweet, sweet human greed. "We should at least see if it hit," she says. Right on cue, Roy, conveniently sitting nearby, slides over the newspaper like a seasoned magician. The woman checks the numbers, and wouldn't you know it, the ticket's just one digit off from the jackpot. What a shame! But Roy, calm and collected, chimes in. "Even being off by one number still wins part of the prize." The woman gets hyped, calls the number on the ticket, and after a little confirmation on the other end, she and Roy erupt. "We won $600! Holy joy!" High fives, euphoria all around. Now the ticket magically becomes their shared lucky find. The woman, high on luck, offers to go cash it in with Angela, but the girl says she has to get home. So naturally, the woman pulls out $300 from the nearby ATM and hands it to Angela, all smile. "Today's my lucky day." From a distance, Roy watches it all unfold from his car. A proud smile creeps across his face. His daughter is a natural, but just when things seem perfect, Roy tells Angela to return the money. He doesn't want his daughter dragged too deep into the con world, at least not yet. Angela agrees, and Roy is clearly relieved, but what he doesn't know is that the scam artist of the century is about to get played in the biggest con of his life. This classic crime movie is Matchstick Men, and it's one of the rare masterpieces from Nicolas Cage. What makes it so special is that you'll never see the ending coming. Let's break down this wild ride. In America, there's a unique breed of people, those who, with just a box of matches, can use sharp wit and smooth tricks to make you hand over your cash willingly. They're called Matchstick Men, and Roy is one of the best in the game. But here's the kicker. Roy and his team don't go after the average Joe. They target the super rich, the kind who got wealthy by exploiting the poor. And when these guys go after something, they always get it. Roy's a mastermind, smooth, cunning, and skilled. He doesn't see himself as a criminal, though. He calls himself a con artist, but in an artistic way. But here's the twist. Roy is also battling some serious OCD and germophobia. His carpet must be spotless. Every item perfectly in place. Even his empty tuna cans get washed, sealed, and thrown out like biohazard waste. He scrubs the glass 8 times a day and checks the door locks 3 times every time. It's exhausting, and it's only medication that keeps him from losing it. Then one day, it all goes wrong. Distracted, Roy accidentally knocks his last bottle of pills into the sink, down the drain. Panicking, he calls his doctor, only to find out the guy's moved out of town. Roy is now completely unhinged. In a frantic frenzy, he starts cleaning like a madman, ignoring Frank's calls. Frank, thinking his partner has been arrested or worse, rushes over in a panic, no shoes, sandwich in hand. When he finds Roy alive, Frank is relieved, but his sandwich crumbs are everywhere. Seeing food crumbs scattered all over Roy's pristine house, Roy completely loses it, drops to the floor, gasping for air. Frank, realizing things are serious, calls up a psychologist, promising this one can help. Roy finally meets the new doctor, but this guy isn't about to hand him more pills. The doctor explains that Roy's old meds were illegal, and he can't take them long term. Instead, the doctor insists Roy needs to address his inner demon. There's something deeper at play. So, Roy starts to open up about his past. He mentions having a wife, and how, when she was 2 months pregnant, he beat her and left her without a second thought. If everything adds up, that kid would be around 14 now. This horrible memory eats away at Roy, like a thorn he can't pull out. Before leaving, the doctor prescribes new medication and promises to help Roy reconnect with his ex. Roy gives the doctor her contact info, too ashamed to reach out himself. A few days later, the doctor tells Roy that he actually has a daughter. Her name's Angela. Despite the anger she feels toward him, Angela still wants to meet him. They agree to meet in a park, and Roy, sitting in his car, is beyond anxious, smoking one cigarette after another to calm his nerves. Every girl who walks by, he wonders, is that her? Then, just as he's about to give up, bam, Angela skateboards by. That's her. Roy freezes. He can't even get out of the car. He whispers to himself, "That's my daughter! That's my daughter!" When she starts to leave, he finally gathers the courage to yell, "Angela, are you right? Yeah, not. Are you okay? Just, are you right?" Classic Roy. The conversation that follows is awkward, super awkward, but somehow, it clicks. Roy takes her for burgers, and when Angela devours a mouthful of cheesy goodness, Roy, the clean freak, is about to have a meltdown. But here's the twist. For the first time in forever, Roy doesn't freak out. He makes it through, and even continues talking to his daughter. Maybe it's the healing power of this strange connection. They only spend a few minutes together, but it's enough to spark something in Roy. A warmth, a flutter of fatherly love he hasn't felt in years. Before they part, Angela suggests they go bowling next time, and scribbles her number on his palm. She even gives him a cheek kiss as they say goodbye. For the first time in a long while, Roy's heart feels lighter. He's smiling again, and get this, his obsessive-compulsive tendencies? They're easing. Roy's no longer relying on medication. Just when Roy was happily admiring himself in the mirror, probably thinking, "Damn, I still got it," the doorbell suddenly rang out of nowhere, and that instantly put him on high alert. After all, Roy's not the kind of guy who has surprise visitors. Cautiously, he peeks through the blinds, and surprise, it's Angela, his newly reunited daughter. Turns out, she had a fight with her mom, and came to Roy, hoping to crash at his place. Roy, eager to make up for all those years he wasn't around, of course lets her stay. The moment Angela walks in, she starts stomping around the carpet with her shoes on. A horror movie moment for someone with OCD. Then she casually throws her clothes onto the couch, like it's her personal laundry bin. Normally, this would be Roy's worst nightmare, but shockingly, aside from some nervous eye twitches, he doesn't freak out. Growth, people, growth. Wanting to be a good dad, Roy even runs to the store and buys her a mountain of snacks and a big oil tub of ice cream. But when he gets back home, Angela's already fast asleep. Still, a new chapter has quietly begun. The next few days are full of warmth and laughter. They go grocery shopping, share junk food, play around like they've been a father-daughter duo for years. Angela constantly turns the house into a chaotic mess, but Roy no longer seems to mind. One night, while Roy's out, Angela starts messing with a weird dog statue in the living room. But oops, turns out it's not just a cute sculpture. She accidentally triggers a secret mechanism, and inside the dog is a stash of cold hard cash. And a gun. Yeah, welcome to Dad's real job. Later, thanks to a bit of cute pleading and those puppy dog eyes, Roy finally spills the truth. He's a con man, a real one. But instead of freaking out, Angela's like, "OMG, that's so cool!" She's genuinely impressed. In fact, she even begs him to teach her a few tricks. Over time, Roy starts feeling like maybe he could be a decent dad. He actually likes this feeling of being needed, of having someone to care for. But while everything looks sweet and rosy on the surface, a brand new con is brewing behind the scenes. Roy and Frank have set their sights on their next big score. The target? A wealthy businessman who's made his fortune in finance. He's rich, alright, but also a notorious cheapskate. The type who counts every penny and tips nobody. But for pros like Roy and Frank, that just makes him easy prey. They carefully craft a plan. Roy poses as a foreign exchange expert, claiming he can flip currency trades for massive profits. To bait the guy in, they help him turn a $5,000 test run into $7,500, an eye-popping 50% return. The rich guy's eyes light up like it's Christmas morning. Greed kicks in, and he offers to invest even more. To make the whole thing feel super legit, they schedule the final deal at the airport. Classic misdirection. On the big day, Roy swings by the bank with Angela to pick up a full $1 million from his private vault. That's right, 7 figures packed neatly into a suitcase. Then off they go to the airport. Roy cracks open the suitcase and flashes the cash. The rich guy is practically drooling. As promised, he even pays Roy a fat commission fee. Then, chaos. From behind, Angela suddenly starts yelling, throwing a tantrum in the middle of the turmoil. "Come on! I'm 21! My ID is in my luggage!" The perfect distraction. While everyone's attention is on Angela, Roy casually swaps the suitcase full of real cash for one packed with worthless paper. The rich guy, none the wiser, happily grabs the dummy case and walks off with a smug smile. "Pleasure doing business," he says. Everything seems to be going smoothly, until it doesn't. The con gets blown. The rich guy realizes he's been played and comes charging back. "What are you doing?" Panic mode activated. In a high-stakes getaway, Roy jumps behind the wheel and loses him with some epic driving skills. But realizing Angela's now mixed up in all this, Roy makes a heartbreaking call. He tells her they can't see each other anymore, that they were never supposed to be father and daughter. Angela, heartbroken and crying, walks away, and Roy just stands there, watching her disappear into the crowd, filled with guilt, regret, and a sinking feeling that he might have just lost the best thing that ever happened to him. After that, Roy goes back to his lonely, squeaky clean bachelor life. But guess what? His OCD comes roaring back like it never left. One morning, he's desperately tearing the house apart looking for his meds, his last line of defense against the mental chaos creeping in. But oh, the bottle's empty. Panicking, he tries calling his therapist. No answer. Deadline. So he grabs the empty pill box and rushes to the nearest pharmacy. That's when the pharmacist drops a bombshell. Sir, this pink pill? It's for menstrual cramp." Roy looked completely in disbelief. Yeah, this miracle drug he's been relying on was literally Midol for period pain. Man's been living off placebo vibes this whole time. Fuming, he storms back to confront the therapist. But instead of apologizing, the doc just calmly says, "It was never about the pill. The real cure was your daughter." Boom. Boom, mind blown. Suddenly, everything clicks. Angela wasn't just some surprise in his life, she was the missing piece. The one thing that actually made him feel human again. So Roy swallows his pride, finds Angela, and gives her a heartfelt apology. No more running from the path. No more scam. No more lies. He decides to let it all go. He splits from his partner Frank for good and hands over his share of their dirty money. Call it a guilt tax. Roy's done with the con game. For real this time. And with that, father and daughter finally start building something real. Their lives bright. Their bond deepen. It's like the sun finally came out after years of rain. But just when you think this story's headed for a happy ending, bam, plot twist. That rich guy they scammed? Yeah, he didn't take the L so well. Out of nowhere, the guy shows up at Roy's house with a gun. And next to him, Frank, bloodied, bruised, and clearly beaten within an inch of his life. Turns out the dude's been holding onto this grudge like it's a family heirloom. Before Roy can even react, Angela steps forward with a gun in her hand. Roy panics. Hey, put it down, sweetheart. I'll take care of this. I want you to go. Angela, use that thing, sweetie. I'll do it. Don't make it work. Shoot him. Okay, god damn it. Shoot him. Oh no. Bang. The rich guy hits the floor lifeless. Frank rushes over, checks the body, and gives Roy a grim nod. He's dead. For real. To protect his daughter, Roy quickly sends Frank and Angela away. Take her. I'll clean this up. Roy stays behind to deal with the mess. But when he walks back into the living room, the body is gone. And then, whack! Someone knocks Roy out cold from behind. But plot twist, we're not done yet. Roy wakes up again, only this time, he's not in his apartment. He's cuffed to a hospital bed, under police custody. Yep, our guy's in deep. The cops are grilling him for answers, but Roy's not cracking. He insists he needs to speak with his therapist first. Only then will he talk. The doc finally shows up, and Roy, looking exhausted and broken, begs him to pass along the code to his safety deposit box. To Angela, that's where all his life savings are. Everything he's worked for. Everything he wanted to leave her. And with that, he falls back asleep. But when he wakes up again, something feels off. No cop, no doctors, no nurses, nothing. The whole hospital? Gone. He stumbles out of the room and finds himself not in a hospital at all, but inside an abandoned rooftop warehouse. That's when it hits him. This wasn't a rescue. This was a setup. Heart racing, he rushes to find his therapist, but the office is empty, totally cleared out. Then he heads to the bank, praying the money's still there. No, the deposit box? Empty. Just a single $100 bill left behind, with Frank's signature smug goodbye. Desperate and devastated, Roy drags himself to the last place he can think of, his ex-wife's home, hoping, praying, maybe Angela's there. Maybe this is all some huge misunderstanding. But when he asks about her, his ex just looks confused. I don't know what you're talking about. Roy insists, almost pleading. You were gonna have a baby. You were pregnant. And she calmly replies, no, I lost the baby 14 years ago. Boom. That's it. The final gut punch. The ultimate irony. The con man got conned. Angela never existed. Not his Angela, anyway. The girl he thought was his daughter? Just another scammer. The one person he thought brought healing into his life was part of a bigger trick. And what stings the most, it wasn't about the money. It was about the love he thought he had. In the film's final moments, we find Roy in a new chapter of life. No more con. No more illusion. He's now a humble carpet salesman. Just a guy trying to live honestly day by day. And slowly, the compulsions ease. The shadows fade. Then one day, she walks in. Angela, older, different, but undeniably her. Roy looks at her. That same face that cost him everything. But he doesn't explode. He doesn't scream. He just smiles. There's no anger left. Only a quiet kind of peace. Because now, he understands. The only thing we ever really own in this world are our feelings. Not the money, not the lies, not even the people we lose. Just the moments that made us feel alive. And in that brief, strange chapter with a fake daughter, Roy finally was. So that's Matchstick Men, a movie about cons, compulsions, and the one trick you never see coming, getting played by your own heart. If you enjoyed this wild roller coaster, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Doxy Recap, for more mind-blowing movie breakdown.